Hey everyone, we're going to talk about a moment that every single fast growing startup is going to face, I guarantee it. A big, messy technical crisis. You know the feeling. The alarms are going off, everyone's panicking. So, how do you find that little bit of clarity in all the chaos? Well, let's dive in.
Okay, so picture this. Your product is down, completely offline. Customers are lighting up social media. Your investors are starting to call. The pressure is just immense. So, what's the very first thing you look at to get a handle on it all? Your gut might just scream, "Fix it!" But you and I both know that's not a strategy.
Right, because in the middle of that storm, panic is worse than useless. It just adds to the confusion. What you really need is a plan, a data-driven approach. You need a North Star to guide you through the fog. Because, let's be honest, panic is not a helpful metric. So here's our game plan. First, we're just going to accept that these storms are going to happen. Then, we'll build your crisis dashboard. We'll look at 3 key areas: the actual health of your system, how your team is responding, and, of course, the real-time impact on the business. And by the end, you'll see how this whole thing shifts your mindset from chaos to control. First things first, let's just get comfortable with an uncomfortable truth, okay? If your startup is growing fast, things are gonna break. It's just a fact. System outages, security scares, hitting your scaling limits, these aren't signs you're failing. Actually, they're signs you're growing. The real test is all about how you handle it. And to handle a crisis, you have got to cut through all that noise. You need a simple dashboard with just a few critical signals that tell you exactly what's going on. So right now, we're going to build that dashboard using 7 key metrics. And here they are. These are the 7 pillars of your crisis dashboard. They cover, well, everything, from the raw state of your servers all the way to the mood of your customers. Now, we're going to group these into 3 main buckets, starting with the heart of the machine, the system itself. This first group of metrics, this is all about the pure tech. Is the engine even on? Is it kind of sputtering? Or is it about to completely blow up? This is where you find your ground truth. You know, what's so interesting about this first metric, mean time to recover, is that it's not really about uptime. It's all about speed. How fast can your team figure out what's wrong, push a fix, and get the lights back on? A low MTTR, that's a sign of a really resilient engineering team, one that's practiced its drills and can roll back a bad deploy in their sleep. Okay, now these are your early warning signals. Think of them as the check engine light for your entire platform. When you see spikes in CPU usage, or your database starts getting sluggish, or you're running out of memory, those are clear signs your system is being pushed to its limits. It helps you know if you're just dealing with a small bug or a much bigger problem with your architecture. But you know, sometimes the system looks fine from the outside. The website is up, everything seems okay. But behind the scenes, things are falling apart. API calls are failing, user payments are getting lost, data is being quietly corrupted. These silent failures, they are so dangerous because they just chip away at user trust without setting off any loud alarms. You have to be looking for them. All right, let's move on. Because a crisis isn't just about servers and code, right? It's about people. And your team's ability to react under all that pressure is just as critical as your server capacity. So how do you even measure that? Well, this just shows the difference perfectly. On one side, you have total chaos. People are talking over each other, nobody knows who's in charge, and everything is slow. But on the other side, that's a coordinated team. It's a well-oiled machine. They have a process. They have an incident commander, a dedicated communications channel. They're calm. And that performance directly cuts down your recovery time. Okay, so we've looked at the machine, we've looked at the people. Now for the final and maybe most important piece, translating all this tech speak into what it actually means for the business. This is how you explain how bad things are to everyone, from your board members to your sales team. And this is where it gets really, really real. Numbers like this, they just cut through all the noise. An 85% drop in active users, that's not just a tech problem. That is a full-blown business catastrophe. This one metric instantly communicates just how massive the customer impact is. And right here, this is where you can actually see the pain. On a normal day, your support team is handling a steady flow of tickets. But during a crisis, that number can shoot up by almost 10 times in a single hour. This chart doesn't just show that users are upset. It shows that your entire support system is being totally overwhelmed. And finally, of course, we have to talk about the money. Every single minute of downtime has a direct dollar cost. You could be losing revenue from sales, dealing with failed payments. You might even be racking up huge cloud bills as you spin up more servers to try and fight the fire. This is what makes the problem concrete for everyone.
So, after looking at all these different metrics, what's the big takeaway? Well, it's about a fundamental shift in how you think about these things. It's not about just gritting your teeth and surviving these technical storms. It's about learning how to actually master them.
Look, you're never going to build a system that's 100% perfect, especially not when you're growing like crazy. It's impossible. So the real goal isn't to chase that perfection. The goal is to build a team and a process that can handle a crisis with speed, with grace, and with control.
And this, right here, really is the key. Survival and success. It's not about never having problems. It's about building the muscle to see trouble coming from a mile away and having a clear, data-driven plan to hit back decisively when it finally arrives.
So that just leaves one last question for you. When that inevitable technical storm does hit, and believe me, it will, is your dashboard gonna be ready? Thanks so much for joining me.